Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu last video in the morning. These videos come in the evening. The MCQ lessons they come, and today important day, happy Teachers Day to all of you. And nothing can be a better success for a teacher where the thing that is needed to the students that they get. And if we talk about UPSC and the Civil Services Examination, then one thing sets you apart, that is the maturity level. And maturity level means suppose you will be posted on a particular place, and all the people, many of the people, they will be having some opinions, they will try to solve the situation, but they are out of the solutions. But you will go there and within 2 lines you will give all the solutions, and all people are happy, and they will that day think that seriously this person is something different, and that's why they are IAS officers. So that is the level of maturity, but for that you need to make a lot of hard work and a lot of scrutiny, a lot of evaluation, and mind-boggling situations, explanations, examples, and case studies. They will be there with you, they will be in front of you. You will need to develop expertise on all those things, then that stage will come. So for that I'm trying my best every day, and let's start the lesson today. Important articles regarding UAPA bill and the Indo-Pacific region. Pocket News app is trending on Google Play, and you can get all the videos. The description is given below the video. You can call on these numbers and you can ask any of your query on the chat section there. PDF is available here, and the Telegram channel link is also available there. So both the places I upload the PDF. So you can follow me on Instagram too, and these are the words that I found today. Now Gautam Bhatia's article important for GS paper 2 and 3 because it is related to the security situation also. So 3 paper will be also important here. UAPA, we were discussing many things regarding UAPA bill when the amendment came, and many issues were there. Many critics warned that vesting sweeping powers in the hands of the political executive, means the government, that can prove to be very abusive and very dangerous, because governments and you may say rulers, for anyone, one thing is totally applicable: power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. This is a simple saying, and practically it gets applied many times. So that's why we are very much concerned about that statement. Here in the UAPA bill, we were discussing that you see this phase is going on where a lot of people are targeted, trolled, and many times people are innocent, and it is not like all the people are terrorists and all the people are anti-nationals and they all want disintegration of India. This is not the case, but the way this phase is going on and the way the social media pressures is driving the political decisions there, that is something really sensitive. Now in this UAPA amendment bill, some draconian provisions according to the experts were there, and you see they can give powers to NIA inspectors also, and even an NIA inspector can file a charge sheet there, and he will be presenting a case for the accused, and the accused cannot defend its side at that time. The charge will be there, and he or she may be declared as a terrorist also. Any organization can also be labeled like that, and earlier only associations and the organizations were only banned, but now they can create troubles, they can label as a terrorist to any individual also. So these are new additions, and this way we fear that there can be misuses of that, because in the past all over this world we have examples in India also, like after 20 years some people were declared as innocent, and everything those people have lost. So many examples are there in front of us, and these are the victims of the system. Here it is not only the system, it is the political executive, and India is a country of political vendettas also. That is also a bitter truth. Now an example is in front of us that is clearing some situation here, that all these suspicions and the warnings by critics and all, those were all not false. An issue happened in Jammu and Kashmir where Jamaat-e-Islami, and you see when we hear names of these kind of groups, Jamaat Islami and Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, then we have a kind of a bias against these names and all. We think that all are terrorist groups, but it is not the case. Till the time we do not have enough evidences, till the time we do not have enough scrutiny of that group, we cannot say that they have terrorist links, or they have something very problematic for the country, or they are some associations trying to seek some goals there, because constitutionally this thing is allowed. This is a part of the expression issue under Article 19, so those things are allowed. But if we find any problem there regarding their intentions, if they are going against India, they are anti-Indians, and they are trying to hatch some plans to disintegrate this nation, then certainly the actions would be taken, and the people would be taken under the UAPA provisions. Now, in this case, what happened, that is really shocking and that is really bizarre. Here, you see, a tribunal is there, UAPA tribunal we call it, and it consists of a sitting High Court judge. Sitting High Court judge means he is sitting and he is not retired. And the duty of that particular tribunal will be that government has powers now. Government may declare or may ban any association today. So whatever decision has been taken by the government, that will be scrutinized, that will be evaluated by this tribunal, and they will decide that is it arbitrary or is it something genuine. In this case of Jamaat-e-Islami, which is banned by the government now, that is the confirmed case, and that is upheld by the tribunal there. And there the problem lies. What is the problem? Government said that FIRs are there regarding their members, and we have evidences that they are supporting extremism and militancy, and they are indulged in anti-national and subversive activities, and this evidence we are giving in the sealed covers to the court. We have seen these kind of things in Rafael case, we have seen these kind of things in CBI case, that whatever evidence they have, they are giving it in sealed cover, means something too sensitive to disclose. Now, judicial system is open, scrutinies are open, judges are telling these things openly, judgments are open, and evaluations and scrutinies are invited always. That is the case. Now, many cases we are observing that sealed covers are being used heavily. Here in this case, they gave the crucial evidence which was proving that this organization has links to extremism and militancy. Those important evidences were given to the court in sealed covers. Now, Judge Chandrasekhar was there, and he said that I am very much convinced that these evidences are true, and there is no need to disclose that. Now, actually, this tribunal wanted that group that they defend their case and they make it sure by their arguments that whatever they are saying is true, and this organization does not have any links to these militancy or extremism, and they do not have any intention of disintegration of this nation. So they will have to defend that. But how they will defend that? They don't even know what kind of charges are there, what kind of arguments are there, what is there in the sealed cover. That thing is not disclosed even to the association or the association's lawyers. So you are not disclosing the important evidence to the lawyers also. Then how you can defend your case? That is the gist of the matter. Here, this sealed cover jurisprudence is creating a lot of troubles here. Although it's JNK, although it's a very sensitive issue, but you have to ascertain first who are the terrorists and who are not, because all the people are not terrorists, all the associations are not terrorist organizations. Here they say that FIRs have nothing to do with our association. That is their argument. They say that we can prove this thing, and our membership register tells it very clearly that these things are not associated with us, and all our membership can be proven, and we are giving all these evidences here. But the membership register that was seized by the government already. Now they cannot present it, means what is there in that register and what is there in the sealed cover, that is not known to anyone besides the judge. So indirectly government and the court wants whatever they say, you accept that blindly and we will not disclose anything. That is the case, and that is the thing that is very much against the basic principles of the justice system. Means you do not want to tell that. That's why there are issues. There may be very serious charges, but in the name of serious charges you cannot deny the proper justice system. That's the issue. Who knows this association has real links or not, or this is some kind of other issue, or there's some kind of a misconception or confusion is there with the government, because it is not possible that the government or any other organization is very much perfect in their way and there cannot be any mistake or any kind of misunderstanding, and there is no margin for any misunderstanding. This is never the case. Nobody is perfect, and whole world has many examples, and it is the political issue also. So people need to know about the judgment. At least the lawyers and the association needs to know about the arguments, how they are going to defend their case. Suppose the case that somebody slaps you on the street and they file an FIR against you, and they do not tell what they said, and in a sealed cover they are giving something to the court, and you do not know what kind of arguments are there, but the sentence is given to you. Means you are just given the judgment there, no other evidence or something like that. You cannot defend your case. So is it a proper thing? No, nobody can be ascertained with this way. You cannot ascertain that someone has a link to terrorism or not, and that was the real fear in these draconian provisions that these critics were saying, and now this huge issue has come in front of us. So that was the issue. Okay, so the Jamaat Islami J&K argued a look at its membership register would make it clear what these members are, and they have nothing to do with the criminal activities, but the register is seized by the government. How do we prove our case? And the court says that the secret evidence is given to us, and I am very much convinced, so we will not accept any argument from your side, and you have to defend your case. But how they can defend their case, because there is nothing that they know. So that's the issue. And for 5 years they have been shut down by the government there. So that's the issue. So tomorrow, suppose India is a country of political vendettas, somebody or some scholar or any intellectual or some activist, if he raises his voice against the government's moves, and there may be some false cases against that person, and any person puts there some arguments, and a false FIR can be there can be some serious charges which may be fraud, because these are subjected to be scrutinized that the charges are true or not. So for that thing there are courts. But if the courts will say that we will not tell the other party any kind of argument, and only the judgment you have to accept blindly. So can you imagine that tomorrow somebody would say that I am a terrorist, I said something against the government, then I can be declared such because I cannot defend my case. So do I supposed to believe that whatever government does, that is 100% perfect and sacrosanct? I cannot do that. Nobody can do that. And in a democracy we have constitutional rights. Nobody is bound to believe anyone blindly. This is not any kind of autocracy, or this is not some kind of a despotic structure. It's a democracy. So both cases need to be heard, and evidences must be given there. Any kind of evidence can be there, but at least the parties can be given the evidence there that what are the charges against you. So this is problematic, and here many sharp words the writer is using here, and the case is very much clear here till these facts and till these details. This is really a problematic issue, an extremely problematic issue, and that's why the writer says that consequences will be of that kind that the nation will one day bitterly regret. Because if these things are allowed, justified and legitimized, then nothing can be worse future for a great democratic country like India if these kind of things are allowed, because this is a clear case of something which is autocratic. That's the way. And unilateral. Next, steaming back into the Indo-Pacific region. You see here the case of Russia, China, America, and India's situation that is explained, and he is citing the former diplomat from India to Moscow, Mr. Triloki Nath Kol. And according to his experience, according to his insights, Zorawar Daulat Singh is telling us that some things are very easy to understand today if we go by these cables and all, which were from the time of Indira Gandhi ji. So it's a multipolar world. We need to understand always, we need to scrutinize always. It's a dynamic issue. Every day new updates are there. Every time we need to calibrate. The diplomacy is the most difficult task for nations today, and anyone can go with anyone secretly, and there can be any kind of planning, there can be any kind of initiative, there can be any kind of problems between countries, and there can be groupings within countries, or these multinational institutions are also working. So issues are very complex always, and that's why it's a diplomacy. Now, subtitle says Russia could imagine a greater role for itself in reshaping the region's geopolitics. We know China and Russia are coming together, and they are giving each other some kind of psychological and geopolitical support. Both kind of supports they are giving, and they are not interfering in each other's issues. They are going with a particular policy that never go against each other. But it may be a possibility that we are not always at the same page. Means there can be differences on issues, like on the Kashmir issue. China and Russia's stands were just opposite. China was supporting Pakistan's case, Russia was supporting India's case. So there can be any issue that all the time they will not be on same page. That's a possibility, but it will never happen that we are going against each other. So never go against each other. That policy is maintained by Russia and China, and that is the serious concern for America there. America has tried in the past, during the Cold War era in 1960s, it tried that China come somehow towards America's side, and it goes away from Russia. It's a neighbor, and it creates problem for Soviet Union there. So that was Soviet Union at that time. It was not Russia. Russia became Russia after 1991. So there were attempts, and there were serious problems between communist China and socialist Russia at that time, Soviet Union at that time, and problems were very bitter. But here these are these two countries at this phase where things are very much solved between these ones, and there can be issues, but they are going with each other, and they are focusing on the Asian pivot there, because Asia pivot is seriously the center of all the geopolitics in this world today, and the next century or maybe centuries to come, this area will be the center of the world. America is focusing on Indo-Pacific region, China is always present there, and Russia is also extending its influence. Now we need to go by the article. Here the writer says that USSR, India and USA in the Cold War phase, they came sometimes on same page, sometimes America tried that India comes on that side, but we were following strictly the non-alignment policy, so we did not join any group at that time. That was for sure. And many problems we had with Pakistan, with China, and again when the Bangladesh issue came in 1971, then we had many issues. So at that time Russia helped us. So many adjustments we have seen in the past, and now the issue is of Chinese expansion. And today's situation we can understand with the experience of the former diplomats that China is rising, and China is a bigger threat than Russia for America. We know China's might is too big for India to match, and its spending, its might, its weapons, its space advancements, and its other wartime advancements are way bigger than India, and that's why America is also afraid, and many issues they both are trying against each other. The tariff wars are going on. These are the biggest evidences that they have many issues trying to belittle each other. But now Russia, when it is coming together with China, then these Sino-Russia relations are creating huge impact and a kind of a different balance there, because it used to be American dominance always, and especially after the Soviet disintegration, it was heavily in favor of America. But now Russia has made progress. It is exporting important weapon systems. The S-400 is the most famous one. Turkey, China, India all have bought S-400 missile system, and that is the biggest cause of worry for Americans. Now it's no more a bipolar system, and it will not be that kind of system. Those issues came affront in 1969 only, and there were cracks open into a multipolar world. Means the cracks were there in the bipolar system, and it was about to develop as a multipolar world. 1971, we needed a lot of help. We were threatened by the West. Americans and all these fleets, they came there to balance the situation, and they said that you cannot do anything against Pakistan. So Pakistan was supported by America at that time. At that time, Soviet Navy came to Indian Ocean, and they supported us, and this is how the creation of Bangladesh was possible. And it was our brave move that that is the biggest evidence till date that we tore apart Pakistan there and created Bangladesh out of it. And since then, Pakistan is trying all its best to disintegrate India, create troubles in India, and militancy, extremism, all those are a kind of a response from Pakistan, because it is all frustrated. It could not do anything after that, and we did everything with it. So that's the issue. Now when Russia supported us, Soviet Union supported us, and till date we are maintaining great relations with it, and we are again making clear this issue that we are not heavily inclined towards America. We are going hand in hand on many occasions, and Lemoa and all these Kumkasa, all these are signed, but still we are open for all mutual cooperation, and we are with Russia too, we are with America too, and China has been very much unfriendly, so many issues are there. So we are trying to balance the Chinese situation there, Chinese dominance there in Indian Ocean region, South China Sea. There also we have some talks. So in this point against China, America and India are together. They both want the balance there, and America totally wants to block China there in all these influence areas. So that's why India is supported many times, sometimes by America, sometimes by Russia, and we are maintaining this balance. Although this triangle is extremely complex triangle for all the geopolitical and the security experts there, because it's not an easy thing to understand, and sometimes it's extremely distorted, obscured, and very much complex. But we have to make efforts every day, and we do not yet see a credible and sustainable strategy to respond to China's rise. America is trying everything, tariff wars and all, everything is going on, but we could not find a huge tool against China, and we could not do much against China, because according to some reports that the practical power of China is 5 times India's power, and we need to grow by 30-40% of GDP growth today if we want to match China in 4-5 years. So that is not possible for India today, and we are actually facing many issues and troubles. An export-led economy that China has, that power is enormous. Even America cannot match that, and we are way behind that. So these are facts we need to accept today. If we accept the facts today, then only we can grow tomorrow. So that's the issue. Now China's Belt and Road Initiative is going on, and Russia's Eurasian Economic Union, that is going on. They are trying to integrate the Eurasian area, and both are trying their best. Japan is also having problems with this with the South Korea, and more Asian inclination is there. So some complex issues are going on, and these things are also related to the economic issues and the world trade issues. Okay, so here they are trying, and here individually Russia is trying to extend its influence further in the Indo-Pacific region, and it is not disturbing China there, and it is trying to make those things possible where Russia has independent relations with the independent partnerships with the countries like Cambodia, Indonesia, and Vietnam. For Vietnam, they have made this thing possible. So that's something really huge for Russia, because the influence is rising. China is rising, Russia is again extending its influence, and the bitter enemy always it has been there for America. So America is very much concerned for both these countries. And that's why a lot of effort is going on for the next country, that is India, from America's side, to balance the situation, and they are trying India to come on board with America there. So that pressure is enormous for India, and recently it said that for ISIS war and for the Afghanistan situation, India must act there, and India must involve in that situation. So it is trying its best to bring India totally on its side, because it is isolated today. America is in a way is isolated today. Israel is a different thing, but in a way America is doing it on its own. And you see, in the past there was a different situation. It was totally American dominance, but today multipolar world, and Russia and China, they are huge powers today. So it is not very easy for America to tackle the situation single-handedly, and that evidence we have seen in the Afghanistan situation. So that is the case. So differences are there between countries, but as I told you, Russia and China, they are maintaining a particular relationship that never go against each other, but not necessarily always with each other. Okay, so that's the case. So we have to see in which way this geopolitical situation, and especially in Asian region, as we call it the Asia pivot, that is going to revolve around, that is going to unfold, that is going to develop in this region. And Indo-Pacific is the center of the geopolitics today, where we are at the center geographically. All countries are focused here. America is trying to block China here in this region. Now Russia is also adding the might here, and it is joining this geopolitical war in this region. That is huge. So I'm very sorry, I'm gonna stop the lesson today now, and one article and some facts we will take tomorrow. MCQ lessons will come till tonight. All the lessons will be uploaded. Okay, so I'm going very busy, so I'm very sorry, and keep doing your best, and message me if any help you want from my side. So thanks a lot, keep watching. It was Amit Sani.